not, then we'll let the Mayor Solers give anything.
Mr. Chairman, if it's okay, I'd like to invite Melanie to give you a little bit of background on what will be known as 5A, I believe, regarding the purchase for the 2 cows at the penny farm. Melanie? You all know Melanie, by the way? I'm sorry.
No, I do.
Everybody, this is Melanie.
So with the passing of Gracie the cow, we knew we had to do something super special in order to move forward. She was so special to us. So we kind of came up with the idea of these mini cows. They would be coming from Illinois, and we're going to kind of look to them as our featured animal at the farm. And we're hoping that's going to draw in visitors. We're looking to really get the community involved with naming contests, with the schools, and all things like that. So we create kind of a whole weekend event. If you fill out your naming certificate, bring it in, you'll get some discount admission, and kind of go from there. We're also looking to use them in our school tour advertising that goes out to all the schools in Michigan. So hopefully we'll draw in some tours from seeing them. And since we're a farm kind of in the middle of the city, we get a lot of school children that come in that are scared of the animals. So we kind of think these mini cows will be a good animal to draw them in that they can get close to, talk to, without, being scared of them. So,
Melanie, could you give them a little bit of the background on a couple of points?
Sure.
Maybe the science behind how these cows are born, and then also the life expectancy and the care that we'll have to be concerned with.
Of course. So what happens is there's generations of smaller cows that are breeded, so they create a very small cow. So they shouldn't get any bigger than 42 inches. The female that we are hoping to acquire, she wouldn't get bigger than 36 inches, and the male would be 42 inches. And
The care and the life.
yeah. So the life expectancy of the cow is about 18 to 20 years. And the cows that we have kind of our eye on are about 3 weeks old. So depending on how long when they get here, we'll have to actually bottle feed them twice a day, and then they'll go on a grain and a hay. So they'll kind of just go right in with the other farm animals. So they will be bottle fed for about 7 to 8 months.
Now they're not related, are they? I mean, is there a chance of these cows breeding?
There is not a chance of them breeding.
Okay.
The male cow, which is called a steer, he's not able to have babies anymore.
Okay.
And the female, she is a heifer, so she potentially could if we had a male, but the male can't.
Okay.
He can't, yeah.
The pictures that we got, are these the cows themselves right here?
Yes, yep, the white one is the male steer, yep, and then the brown and white one is the female.
And I believe you all should have got the website as well, where they're coming from. It's kind of cool to look at some of the other, you can see them, some of the, and some of the, some of the grown ones, you can see how big they are, or in this case, they're not, because they're not very big.
They're still pretty good size, heavy.
Yeah.
They'll still, 42 inches. Still
Well,
good
certainly
size.
Gracie was
Yeah.
big.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
She was a regular size, trying to carry her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just curious what happened with her. She was only like 6. What's the life expectancy? She was only like 6, right? Or?
She was about 11.
Oh, okay.
So I think life expectancy when they get a chance to have a full life is close to 18 years. But yeah, I think she had a cancer or an ulcer or something that wasn't treatable.
Councilman Pat?
So I have a question, we're asking to, the amount not to exceed 8,000. But on here, on the invoice, it's there $500 per, so where's the extra?
It's the deposit.
That is just the deposit.
But to your point, Councilwoman, I believe the all-in price for the cows is $7,000, and then it's $500 each for transportation, correct, Melanie?
Yeah. So it was the $1,000 deposit, $500 per animal, and then the final deposit or the final check will be $6,900. So it'll be $7,900 altogether.
Okay. And that includes the
That includes
transportation.
shipping. Yeah. It should be $400.
I had called some relatives in Ohio, and they said these animals could run anywhere from 1,500 to 4,000, depending on the marking. And I explained the markings, and said that would be a more expensive animal.
Is there any other questions for this item? All right, thank you.
Thanks, Nolan.
All right, so is there anything else here?
No, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
No problem. All right, so we'll move on to the regular agenda. We have item 6, what Michelle's just passing out the copy that we voted on the last meeting, just so everyone has a fresh copy of the medical marijuana ordinance that we approved for the first reading. And Mr. Greco's here as well. I'm not sure if any members of the council have any further questions about the medical marijuana ordinance as we go to final passage tomorrow. But Dave Greco's here if there's any questions from council.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
if I could, I don't know if it's a question for council, but I was actually going to talk to Dave, but didn't get a chance to call in advance. Dave, there's some proposed legislation related to growing at home. Obviously, in this particular ordinance, it requires registration, inspections. If the state ultimately passes the banning of growing at home, the state law would then supersede local law, correct?
That's called, yes, it's called preemption. So the state law preempts any local ordinances. Where there is a direct conflict on whether a local ordinance permits or prohibits, there's a direct conflict with the state law will trump it.
And I read through some of that proposed legislation, and obviously it still is proposed. I didn't see anything that allowed any type of grandfathering. If that particular bill is passed as is, it will simply ban all growing of marijuana at home.
That's the way it looks.
Even for medical and like caregivers?
I believe so. It looks, I didn't get a chance to look at it that closely. It's proposed, but yes, that's the way it looks.
When approximately are they supposed to vote on this?
It'll be in lame duck. I mean, if it does come up, it'll have to be in the next 2 to 3 weeks.
Before the end of the year, yeah.
Yeah.
If, but because that's the ultimate question, if.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing. If it doesn't get off the ground, then it won't happen. But if
Right.
it does pass, it'll be in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Are there any other questions from council for Dave, or any other questions for this ordinance? Okay. Thank you, Dave. Appreciate it. All right, we'll move on, and we have a presentation for item 23, so we're going to get that out of the way first. Mr. Sutherland?
Yes, thank you, Councilman.
Yes.
Today we have Brandon Clough and Earl Harris from Unifirst. Unifirst is a $1.7 billion company. Currently, their facility is on Monroe. They are looking to relocate and would like to stay in Taylor if possible. And with that, I'd let Earl give up and we've got a little presentation for you. Earl, you want to say hello, sir?
Good evening, everybody. How are you?
Good evening.
I'm Earl Harris. Just to give you a little background, not sure if you all are familiar with Unifirst, but as George mentioned, we are about $1.7 billion annually. Last year, we are currently the second largest industrial uniform provider in the world. We purchased a local company here in Michigan back in September of 2016, which was Arrow Uniforms. The Karate family and the Unifirst family, the Andrews family had long relations, and when they decided to sell, they sold to us. We are currently in their building on 6400 Monroe. We did not purchase the building when we purchased the company. We did a 5-year lease, which we are about 2 years into. And I was tasked with, I run all of Michigan, not just the Taylor facility. I was tasked with finding a new location for our brand new facility. And there were a number of people who worked for the old company who encouraged us to stay in Taylor. Quite frankly, as George knows, we were going to leave. After talking with them and meeting George and getting to know some people in the area, I went back to our senior executives and I told them, you know, we owe it to our employees to at least look at it. We currently have about 300 employees, and 95% of them live in the city of Taylor. So obviously, if we were to leave, you know, it would displace 300 people out of jobs. But anyway, we were looking at about 9.79 acres, which I believe the city owns. So that's the property there. This is what the building would look like. This is one of our models. This is the particular one that I am shooting for here in Taylor. That's a front view, George. That's another view of it. That's what, I don't know, has anybody had the pleasure of going to an industrial laundry? You could watch the whole community's close in about an hour. But that's a shot of the wash aisle, of what it would look like. All right. You know, generally when we're looking at building a facility somewhere, people want to know, okay, how many trucks are coming in and out of here? So we've provided you guys with that information. I have 16 routes that run out of the Taylor building. Step vans, right? You guys have probably seen our trucks around the neighborhood. And I have 4 tractor trailers who go out each day. I also have 4 other facilities, one in Jackson, one in Saginaw, one in Grayling, that we send work out to each day. So you have about 20 vehicles. Our route vans, they leave at about 5 in the morning and they're gone all day. So between 5 and 7, they're in and out. And then back in the afternoon, between 2 and 4. And we have the weight classifications for those vehicles. That's exactly what our vehicles look like. So